Hey guys, welcome to another Rugby Hemisphere analysis video. Today I'll be looking at the Springbok Backline performance against Ireland on the first leg of the end-of-year tour last weekend. This is the figure that every single Springbok supporter went to bed with last Saturday night. 35 points, the eventual losing margin. Springboks losing to a team that had only lost 6 times to previously. It's the fourth major defeat that the Springboks have sustained with Alistair Coetzee as head coach. And I'm sure this result will go down in history as one of the most disappointing days in South African rugby. There is so much to talk about in relation to the forwards. We got scrummed off the ball, rucked off the ball, our mauls weren't working, and we didn't have A games from Etzebeth or Marks, which we really needed to beat the Irish. But however disappointing the forwards were, this game was lost by a Springbok backline in disarray. We made a whole host of tactical errors in the first half, but especially in the second half. Didn't have the experienced leadership to carry us through that, which was also required a lot in relation to attack, which we're going to look at first. And straight away, we're going to have a look at the first real indication in the match that something is wrong. The Allende, despite having so much space out wide, decides to pointlessly boot it downfield, wasting all of his outside options. Look at it in slow-mo. Again, look, all he has to do is run straight and give the ball out wide. He's got 3 defenders outside. But instead, what does he do? Kick it downfield, which wastes then all 3 of his outside options. We're going up against 1 Irish defender. 1. That's a 4-on-1, and he boots it downfield. It's 5 minutes into the game, and this was the first real opportunity for the Springboks to attack. And once again here, another stupid error. Just miscommunication between Jantjies and Kolisi. Kolisi in front of the ball, Jantjies not passing correctly, and the Springboks getting off to a really bad start attacking wise in the match. After this, they changed the attacking game plan a bit, I think, running a lot of lines of 12, which didn't work either. Here, Allende runs in, held up, squirming around like a sardine, and the Springboks just showing no creativity. Here they benefit of a loose ball, they ran out wide, but again, not making the meters necessary, only going up to just inside the 22 when they had acres of space out wide, not running forward enough. And Lades, I don't know, it's just once again demonstrates perhaps inexperience internationally. And here they're building phases, they're going forward, but then another stupid error, not looking before you pass. This is basic stuff that the Springboks are doing wrong. Once again running strong lines in the centres, but not going anywhere. Going wide again. Here they should be making a lot of ground, but it's just shut down again by the Ireland defence. They keep trying this, but on a slippery surface, Creel should know running sideways is going to get you pushed sideways by the defence, and so close to the touchline, it's going to end badly for you. Coetzee trying to step people. Just again, we're trying to play this physical game, which I thought was working really well against the All Blacks, but here we can see it failing dramatically against the Irish, who aren't renowned really for their physicality, but more free-flow gameplay, which worked absolutely brilliantly against the Springboks, who weren't on the ball at all. Here again, we got a free kick all the time in the world, but then Cronje decides to tap it quickly, flings it out wide, and once again we're under pressure. The ball gets eventually turned over, and we're inside our 22 defending. Here, Pollard giving away too late. Lades gets absolutely hammered in the tackle, and it once again shows the Springbok attack is nowhere near what it should be. I hinted at in my last video talking about Pollard and Jantjies that the match in Albany must have been a blip, especially in defence, where they let their edge drop and lacked experience in the backline. But after this match, you get the impression that these 2 record defeats we've seen within weeks are actually the true picture of what the Springboks are actually capable of. Here, the Ireland backline Sexton is tearing us apart. There is meters out wide for the winger to run into, and we've tried to implement this into our gameplay, but for some reason it's not worked at all. Here, Yankees is put back. He launches it out, barely making 20 meters on the kick. Our defence was absolutely torn apart by the Irish kicking game. Here they somehow regain their own kick inside our 22, and we sit there and spectate. Here there's acre space again out wide for them to run into. Had that pass gone to Aki's hands, there was massive danger on the wing. Again here, absolute magnificent play from the Irish. Can we do that? No, not at all. Our backline is incapable of doing something like that. Once again they come close to score here. They're testing our backline in all the correct places to score a try. Here was the last try of the game. Skosan not able to get across. It's making these tackles that are going to make the difference in winning or losing a game. The kicking, especially from our part, was terrible. I don't think any of our backline players can say that their kicking game was up to scratch. We lost almost every contestable kick that there was. Kutsia and the wingers, Dylan Lades and Skosan, they didn't get under it at all. Here we're fighting a kicking battle much like we did against the All Blacks at some points. Yankees not really putting it deep enough. Sexton here doesn't return it very well. But here the contestable kick, we're not making clean catches. Cronier a lot of the time going for the box kick, not going far enough at all. The Irish attack capitalizes on that every time. Rob Carney making superb counter-attacks from 15 that Andres Garcia simply isn't able to do. Tried virtually no in-play kicks, with Conor Murray testing us almost at every opportunity. Cronier and Yankees, these in-play kicks simply didn't work. There we go, we're handing the Irish attack the ball once again, and then they're running back half the kicking distance. These are things which we should be exceptional with. We've got good kickers in our backline, but they've underperformed here. I didn't think Pollard made such a great impact when he came back on. Yankees, as we're going to see in a minute, his kicks on defense didn't go at all as far as they should have. He barely made touch on a lot of occasions. And Sexton, who, as Kutsia pointed out, is perceived by many as the Burton Barrett of Europe. Rob Carney, again, outclassing our defence, running back at least 10 metres that we just sit back and let him come through. Conor Murray testing our defence. Here, a miscommunication between Cormier and Skosan, and they run in for what looks like a premiership try. Not really anything special happening there. Conor Murray just hoists it high every time, and Skosan is unable to make a clean catch. Nothing really special from the Irish there. I can't seem to work out at all why our catching game just isn't up to scratch. Please do. If you have any ideas, do put it down in the comment section below. I'd really like to hear from you in that front. But it's really puzzling me why for some reason our wingers are not making those catches. They should be every single time be contesting successfully for that high ball. Skosan, none of the contestable kicks, none of them were caught. Something which I didn't think was a problem really in the past. Yankees here trying a kick over the top, and Kriel, somehow despite the ball bouncing almost perfectly for him, doesn't regather it, and the Irish put in another great kick way out on our wing into open space, which puts us on the back foot again. Kutsia this time can't make the step and is tackled, and we're on the back foot once again. Our poor backline defence put us on the back foot every single time, and then after playing ourselves back into the Irish half, which we had a lot of territory advantage in, we fumbled the ball and made a silly mistake that cost us all of that hard work. This is what I was talking about with the Yankees. He's kicked it from inside our 22. Nothing difficult to do here. He's kicked it and it's landed not even at the 10-meter line. The performance by the Springboks was an absolute shambles. Nothing really going right. Kutsia rightly pointed out there were almost no positives to take from this. There has to be change for the match against France. Absolutely there has to be change. Pollard, Page, Gelant and Am need to start for the Boks if they had to beat France in a week's time. Well, thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do comment below. I love hearing your opinions. Like and subscribe, and go Bokke!